What's up, dude?
Howdy.
I was trying to see if I can make us go backstage so we could talk to each other, but then the chat can't hear us. But I haven't figured that out yet on Restream.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, no big deal. It says starting soon, but they can hear. They can hear what we say.
Okay.
Tyler's got to do dad stuff tonight, so he's not going to be here.
Okay. I don't blame him. Dad stuff's definitely more important.
Yeah. Especially because I think he had I think he was at a bachelor party or something this weekend, so I'm sure his wife needs a break.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How was your week, dude?
Now that I'm going to talk about it for live.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
It was rough.
Yeah.
I got a lot to do with my grandfather's passing. My dad's gone already, so everything falls to me. My grandmother's gone too, so it's like I got a whole house to clean out and take care of, and all kinds of stuff to deal with the court, and just a lot going on. I've spent the whole time I had off for bereavement, doing repairs and taking care of the house.
Yeah, that's brutal, dude. My mom's going through the same thing with her sister because they live together, so she has to do all the, getting the junk taken out of the house and stuff like that, and estate sale stuff.
Yeah, we filled a 20-foot dumpster to the brim over the past 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, my aunt was like a hoarder too, so there's a ton, so there's extra microwaves and extra vacuum cleaners, just all kinds of stuff. But that's a tough thing, man, to deal with. It's a lot of work. Well, I'd ask you questions about the book, but I may as well wait to turn the cameras on.
Yeah.
What are you reading? Anything else besides this right now?
I was until all this happened, and now I'm struggling to make sure I'm caught up for tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's cool that I forgot his name already. Sam Robb reached out to you. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
The premise of that book sounds pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to read it.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be good. And I know Nick. I got to meet Nick at LibertyCon this year. He was fun to hang out with. He seems like a really cool dude. And I really dig when vets write their old job in a cool, fantastical new way.
Yeah. I'm just gonna switch over because we're talking anyway. We're live, so may as well just hang out until Yuval shows up. But yeah, dude. It's also cool that Raconteur Press reached out to us. We did their anthology, and they're like, "Hey, want to take a sneak peek at this new book?" I think this is their first novel, right? That we're looking at.
They have kids' books. I think this is the first adult novel.
Yeah.
That they're doing.
Relics of the Fallen. Yeah, I mean, let's just kick things off until Yuval shows up. But yeah, welcome to Carbines and Cantrips. Tonight, we're still reading The Hand of God by Yuval, and we're doing pages, I forgot, it's 142 to 195. And according to Yuval, I didn't double check it, but he wrote it. So we've pretty much hit all the POVs that we're gonna hit in the book. So we've met everybody, which is good. But yeah, what time is it? I still got 8 minutes. So yeah, hang out, chat. Let me get the chat up so I can see if anyone's saying anything. I'm digging the book. I really like. I'm not trying to blow smoke up Yuval's butt, but I like his writing.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I agree. It's I enjoy his prose a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that his descriptions are good. Then the book is still heavy, but now we're moving, if that makes sense. Like, it's not
definitely still heavy. It's
yeah.
It lightens up only because it kind of speeds up a bit and like it's a little bit more rooted in the like I don't know, straightforward, more in the characters' boots, I guess, rather than trippy visions, whatnot. But yeah, dude, I really dig it. Come on. I guess he said it. Well, alrighty. Dude, I want to go to LibertyCon so bad. But it's so far away. Man.
I get it. That's how I feel about Writers Cantina. Writers Cantina was this weekend. It's in Utah.
Yeah, I've been seeing people post about it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like LibertyCon. It's one of those. There's a ton of like cool classes and people that show up. Other places don't show up, like Larry Correa and Steve Diamond and people like that. You know, like they almost always show up to that one.
Yeah.
You know, people that do podcasts will show up to that one and don't show up to any of the others. And Liberty works that way too, where like there's people you only see there. So I'll make it out there at some point. It just wasn't this
year. Yeah. I tried to go to. I didn't manage to make it last year to the Galaxy's Edge Fan Expo. It was up in Washington. And I didn't see anything about it, so I didn't know if they were doing it again. But then, like, the weekend that they were doing it, I saw someone, I think Jason Ansbeck, posted on X, and I was like, oh, man. Because I could drive to that. That wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's on the East Coast or the South that I interact with. Like Virginia or, like, you know, Georgia. Just a lot of East Coast or New Jersey. Or, like, in London or something random, like just total different country.
Yeah.
I think I've had a few Canadians. I think Yuval lives in Canada. Based on, I think, what he said last episode. Oh, my goodness gracious. Having a baby makes me tired.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah, it's like it's not having 3. Everyone's like, oh, once you're outnumbered, I mean, yeah, that happens sometimes, but like for the most part, it's just like if you're gonna make the jump, it's not that you're being outnumbered. It's just you have the energy to go through a newborn phase again. For all the different milestones you got to get through.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and every child ends up being different on sleep patterns. So it's not like you can be like, oh, well, you know, like my little guy would sleep like 6 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was, and he did that pretty early. So we got pretty lucky because 6 hours ain't great, but you know, it's functional.
Yeah.
Versus I've had buddies, you know, or my brothers, you know, or whatever. Like I've had my closest friends that, you know, now have kids, and it's like, oh yeah, he wakes up every 2 hours to eat. And it's like, oh my god.
I mean, yeah. Oh, dude, how old is the kid?
4 months, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully he grows out of that pretty soon. That's brutal. Oh, yeah, our kid. He's hit or miss. Like sometimes I think he'll have some nights where it's just randomly terrible. But for the most part, he's not doing too bad. But I don't know. It's just summertime, all my kids are home. There's a lot. Everyone's like, my attention's being pulled in 3 different directions. So, it's tiring.
Yeah.
It's also cool. Yeah, we made me and my daughter made slime today, so like I filmed it for her and I like edited it together to make her cool little like video. And like I took some green tablecloth that we had left over from my son's Buzz Lightyear birthday party, and I put it up on our wall and like filmed her so she could like have a green screen, and like she like drew a picture that she wanted to use as her background, so I put that up for her. So now she has a sweet little like how to make slime video. She wants me to make her YouTube channel and upload it. I was like, that's a lot of extra work, kiddo. I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, I've been telling this to all my buddies. They're like military vets and dads, and most of them are, like 03s. But it goes for anybody that like almost any dad or mom, honestly. Like at some point, we are the first generation that's blessed with like everything's on digital video. And you being able to sit down and be like, this is who I was. This is what I did. This was the funniest thing that happened to me. This was the worst. This was the best. Like you can sit down and just like lay all that out. And it's a digital file, and it's not going to be like a VHS tape where like 20 years later we got to dig out a,
Yeah.
like and try and figure, it's not only going to be on home video, like
a Christmas Vacation where you get stuck in the attic and he pulls out the big box of the
exactly.
8mm or whatever.
Yeah, like it's not like that. So, and I'll tell you the same thing, man. Like, record that stuff for your kids, man. That's because like they're gonna want to know, and it's hard. Like, I'm a writer. And like my first mill sci-fi story is literally me mill sci-fiing one of the things that happened to my, like, I call him my brother. He's my best friend since we were living. My brother in the service. So like he told me all about a barracks brawl, and so my story starts off with a barracks brawl.
Yeah.
And like, but even me trying to remember everything that happened, like making it part of my stories and how like everything like that. It's hard for everybody to remember everything. Like, so if you lay it all down on video, the way you remember it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's, so I highly encourage you to document all that.
Did you say he was a Marine? Yeah, that makes sense, dude. Oh, Perry, I can see Marines get into a barracks brawl. I can't remember what it was they did when I was in Pensacola, but they did something to get in trouble because they can never go out in town in their civvies. I don't know what they called their not dress uniforms, but their service uniforms. I like the green pants and the khaki top. I forget what they called those, but whatever they were, that's what they had to wear out in town.
Okay.
I heard a story. I don't know if it's true because it sounds totally insane, which it could be true because of that, but it just sounds like way over the top for it to be true. But there was like a rumor that they took over because there was an Air Force on that base too in Pensacola, and there's a rumor that they took over an Air Force barracks with like Nerf guns and like tied up a bunch of Air Force airmen.
That sounds right.
That was the story. I have no idea if it was true. I never like verified it with anybody official, but that was on the rumor mill.
That is absolutely believable. I don't know if it's true, but it sounds right.
Yeah.
Passes the sniff test.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I loved so I was air crew, so like my air crew school was split between sailors and Marines. What the hell?
We got a message
from Yuval, but I don't see him like say, "Let me in." What in the world? There he is. Oh, he's backstage. I was like, I didn't get an alert that you came in. You just like slid on in. And then for some reason it like automatically put you backstage.
Oh yeah. I was late, sorry.
That's okay. I mean, I guess a couple minutes. That's no big deal. We've been chatting.
We were early.
Yeah, we were early.
Where's the spoiler king?
He's got to do dad stuff tonight, so he's not gonna be able to make it. He's a little busy.
That's all right.
But he said he's caught up reading wise, so he'll be good for next week.
That's good.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm all right.
Yeah.
There's
I
like
don't,
an
I'm
apocalyptic
thinking about
storm
Baptiste,
going
and I'm
up.
already sleepy just thinking about Baptiste.
Yeah. Where have you guys read up to? What are we talking about today?
The last POV was Rebecca, so it was page 195. So it was Esther. I jumbled this. Esther, Rebecca, Baptiste, Sophis, A11, Rebecca. If I'm not mistaken, is the order.
Okay.
So yeah, it was the
Good progress.
second POV with Rebecca, or her second chapter.
So you just finished with Baptiste?
Yeah. Or was it? Or do we have 3 things with Rebecca? Pretty sure it was just 2.
The last Baptiste chapter would have been he went to see his great uncle and was basically told to suck it up.
No, he's still in the wasteland. They're
No, last
heading
one
back.
was Rebecca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's we're at duckling mode. It's A11.
Yeah. So yeah, duckling mode is the next.
Have you read Duckling Mode?
No, we're at
no.
that.
Oh,
That's where we
man.
stop.
Duckling Mode is like one of the famous chapters of this book.
Really? And I can say I think some of my favorite characters so far are Rebecca 6, R6, and Baptiste.
Yeah. I love them all. I love my kids equally, right?
Yeah, no favorites.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the Scab Rats are cool because there's like this whole like American branch, which I'm loving that. Or yeah, they like it's like their ideology is like Americanism, and then the other one I think was Reconstructionist. It's kind of how the different clans, like some clans, ascribe to the Reconstructionists. The other ones are into the Americanism. Yeah, I guess we should talk about the book, huh?
Yeah.
What did you real quick, Jesse? What did you think about like last week's pages reading, whatever?
So there was part of me that was, I guess, a quick overview. There's part of me that was sad that when we left Esther where we did.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool to see the start of like things are in motion, if that makes sense. Like things had already been in motion, but now we get to see like this whole new aspect of the world that we're playing in so many years later. And I thought that was really cool. I do like Baptiste. I like A11 too. And I agree. Rebecca 6 is probably honestly my favorite. With her going through all these trials and tribulations of this like specific born destiny. Which,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we might need it.
I'm glad that you're enjoying Rebecca 6 because she, it's funny because there's like who's the main character in the series, right? I couldn't really tell you. I mean, there's a lot of different people who are kind of main, but Rebecca 6 is a very, very central character. Yeah, I think you're gonna like where her story goes.
Yeah.
It did make me sad to go from Esther just getting like power. Like she's like, okay, she's a badass now. And then fast forward all the way to her struggling in a wheelchair. Like a super badass wheelchair, but like still like skip.
It's kind of like a Professor X wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh man, where's the in between? Where'd it go? Like, what happened to the in between? And I know, like, when you're trying to tell a story this way, like, we'll get to that all. I know it. Sometimes you gotta say, I'll get to that later. But it was like that hurt a little bit. You know what I mean? It was like, oh man, like I was wanting to like Esther shred demons. Like where's the demon shredding?
Yeah.
I was told there would be demon shredding. Where's the demon shredding?
Yeah. It reminds me of the jump from the end of Dune to the beginning of Dune Messiah, where like the end of Dune, he's like just
Jihad.
Just getting the reins of power. And then like Dune Messiah, he's like taken over the whole galaxy pretty much.
Yeah, the whole galaxy. Yeah.
But then I think it was his son, right? Frank Herbert's son that like wrote a bunch of books about the jihad and stuff. Or maybe it was Frank Herbert. I don't remember all the books. They are all over the place.
Yeah, I think two of his sons continued on the universe, right? Back in the day, I read all of them. I think I must have read like, I don't even know how many there are, but I read like basically all of them.
Yeah, and there's like the Chronicles, which are like I think 5 books, and then there's a whole bunch of other. I haven't read past book 2. I got kind of bummed when spoilers for the ending of Dune Messiah, but Paul dies, and I was like, oh man.
Brian brought in Brian was Frank's son, and he brought in Kevin J. Anderson too. Which Kevin's a really cool dude. If you guys ever get blessed to meet him at like cons or anything like that, he's a cool guy to hang out with.
Yeah, but like to Esther, like I don't know, she's not like confined to the wheelchair. That was just so she could get like a re-up on the accelerant, right?
Yeah.
And then once she gets juice back up, she's
I mean, and there'll be more about like the nature of her power and the nature of her dependency and things like that, right? But that'll all come.
Yeah. Yeah, we were kind of talking a little bit before you showed up, like, fanboying over you a little bit, but like I really like your descriptions are like super visual, and I like the settings and like the locales, like cathedral, like the description of like the storms, like the orange sky, the lightning, the acid rain, the sour wind, and just like her aesthetic with like her wheelchair with all the hoses going into her body and like the accelerant squirting on the wall. I don't know, just really cool vibe, man. I really like it. And then like the I want to say wastelands, the Deadlands, the Peninsula City and the Sea of Screams. Oh my God, dude, the Sea of Screams.
Oh yeah. You've seen it, right? Yeah. If you've gone through Sophis, you've learned about the Sea of Screams. Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrendous. It's horrifying.
Yeah, that's again. I always never know what to say, but that's Don't forget about the Sea of Screams.
No, I don't think I will. I'll probably dream about it. But or even the well, I mean, Bastion sounds cool, even though we read that last time. But and then the bunker, which I forget what did it have a number? I can't remember what it was. But basically, get into the bunker.
Yeah.
And just the description of like the rusted hinges, their fear that it's not going to open again. Like if they close it behind them, their fear that it's not going to open again. I forgot his name.
Legitimate fear.
Yeah,
that would bother me too.
I'd be like, I don't want to go in here. Do you want to close it?
Not leaving a guard at the door would bother the fire out of me. That would not leaving somebody there to.
Well, that's the thing with the Deadlands, though, right? Other than they just ran into the Bastion dudes, but like, there's kind of nothing there. Like even demons are afraid to go there. So you're safe on that side of things, but then on the other side of things, it makes you go insane. Yeah. So it's a interesting place to be. I can't remember the name of the guy that went missing. He was the brother of that Jax. Yeah.
Jackson. Char was his sister.
Yeah. And it's like it just like adds another layer of how messed up the Deadlands are, because he's probably not going to die. Like the Deadlands are pretty good about keeping you physically alive. They just grape your mind and hollow you out from the inside. I really like your settings and your locales here.
Sweet.
I think Peninsula City, the Sea of Screams specifically, was terrifying.
As it should be.
And I like the whole like all the whispers, like the demons kind of evoke, because I feel like that first demon we saw, the spider chain web creature, like it managed to like make Esther hear screams before she ever ate the accelerant, and like we got the sense that there were spirits and souls of the damned inside that demon. So I'm like, are all the demons like vessels that like hold a bunch of damned souls inside them? I think yes. That's my guess. I'm not going to add. Last week I asked you a bunch of questions that were like spoiler questions, but I feel like the demons are best.
It's super hard to resist, right? It's like let me tell you. It's like no, like it's better not to know until you know, right?
Yeah, because I think. Because when Rebecca 6, so we get to meet her, and she goes down to this like super deep part of the spire, yeah. And this is like a room she's never been in, and a bunch of like 8 sisters come out like pulling 2 chains a demon's like wrapped up in. And it also, dude, your descriptions of your monsters are off the wall, dude. Like this creature is like a plant demon with massive human arm pincer thing, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want just like a dude with horns. I mean, that's pretty played out, right?
It's played out. I mean, it's classic, but definitely played out.
Yeah.
And all the little like the little mouth with the tongues coming out of its body. Ugh, dude. But anyway, Rebecca heard like whispers and screams coming from that thing.
Yeah, and the demons feel very demonic in like a berserk.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, there's definitely like I can see some like, you know, I want to say biblical, but there's other books that contain descriptions like that. But they have a solid theological foundation in the wild anatomies that we see in angels and demons in those texts.
Yeah.
And I think he did a great job with like adapting that and then adding in a little bit of modern with things like chains and the nasty mechanical bits they have sometimes. I think that's
I mean, for sure. And that's awesome. I mean, part of it is, like I wanted the demons to kind of to resemble us and our sins, right? Like in the things that we do. And so the reason there's like, maybe I shouldn't, again, careful what I say, like some of the like mechanical bits, the biomechanical bits, it's, just part of, our ongoing, integration with machines. Right. So it just felt like, if this is a, biblical / post-apocalyptic scenario where you are representing, lost souls glommed together, et cetera, it feels like machines should be part of that, right? So I wanted to bring that in as well.
Yeah, I like that idea of like humanity's I don't know, collective conscience or our sins kind of influencing how the demons like that's cool.
So you got to the part where Rebecca did her test. They brought out
her final test. We ended on her next chapter where she wakes up in bed and Esther comes to her room. I was like, okay, get ready for your committal ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I was gonna say that first Esther chapter, it kind of ends like she's looking down a cathedral. There's like a procession coming by they're bringing not a sister yet, but it's like I forgot the word. Proselyte, yeah. It's basically a candidate to go take the accelerant and go through the process. But she lets us know that there's been some issues. A lot of very promising candidates have died, and we get like this sense that she's like very like a lot of weight, like burden of like responsibility on her shoulders, because she doesn't want the sisterhood's numbers to dwindle, but the candidates keep dying, and it's like she's kind of has like this struggle, or maybe a little bit of like frustration with the Messiah or God, like how much do I have to give, like what's the deal, why are none of the modern women able to survive this procedure that you gave to me in order to fight back against the forces of hell. So yeah, I feel like all the characters, they all have like their own personal goals, and some of them are against each other, or they might end, it seems like they're going to kind of go that way. I don't know. But at the same time, I'm kind of rooting for every single separate character to win. Even though
I love that. It's funny because like there's so much, like we're on X, like we see all the dialogue about like heroes and villains that are heroes and heroes that are villains, and wanting things to be a bit more, like wanting heroes to actually be heroes. But the funny thing is, like as I was writing the books, like there are some real assholes that pop up later. But in terms of like Esther and like what Bastian is doing and what Hub is doing, like they're going to butt heads, but they all have pretty good reasons for doing what they're doing, right? They're all protagonists in their own, not in like a morally gray sense, but like in their own actual worlds, in their own communities, in their own civilizations. Like they're doing what they need to do to survive.
Yeah, well, class of civilizations does that though. So like, when someone, I think it's fun how you played with nationalism in here. and how you play, like both on the clan aspect, like the clans themselves in the Union feel a little bit different about nationalism, to one point of which it might actually be a threat. I thought that was cool too, because if the whole triggering of the apocalypse was this ancient nation that, you know, had all these sins and made all these bad decisions and then blew each other up, like the people that want to rebuild that are idiots. Like, so, like, so it was cool to, but that also gives you this vehicle to have people that, like, it's easily from a moral perspective to justify Baptiste doing what he's doing, and like Sophus or you know, one of the other characters from one of the other nations doing what they're doing and being like morally correct, I guess is the best way to put it, from their perspective, from what, because at some point, you know, like as a soldier, that's your job, like that's, and we don't consider that to be within the bounds of human decency. We don't consider that to be morally incorrect. If a soldier kills for his nation, that's literally his job. To the point of, even in our theological text, that's considered to be, if almost the opposite, sometimes holy at times. And the sisters are trying to literally fight the forces of hell themselves. Like, what, you know, how do you, what the sacrifices you make to do that are very hard to argue that those aren't moral. So but it makes for a really rough book too, because there's a lot of people making a lot of rough decisions around here.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, that's definitely something that like Hollywood or comics or video games, they try to go that route, and they just make characters that, like, that person just sucks. I don't care about, like, I don't feel sympathetic towards that person. They're just an a-hole, and now like you just like hand wave that I'm supposed to like care about them. Like WandaVision, where she like murders a whole town. And then, like, I can't remember what it was, but that girl was like, they'll never know what you did for them. Like, what are you talking about, dude? So yeah, I think it's a popular idea that not a lot of people get right.
And it's fun, right? Like, it's fun talking to people who have read the books, because it's like, it's the whole gamut. Like, there are people who are like, oh, I hate Esther so much. And then there are people who are like, man, Esther is like the best. She's such a badass. She's just doing what she needs to do. And then again, like I do hope you'll read it to the end of the trilogy, because there's some pretty major things that happen. You know, but it's fun, right? It's fun seeing who people end up rooting for, or, you know, empathizing with, or despising, right?
Yeah, Esther, I can't say that I hate her. She definitely does, as far as I can tell, really brutal things. But she has like such a heavy like sense of burden about her, that like I get it. And she is badass. Like, when the last chapter I read was Rebecca, where she comes into Rebecca's room, just like the description of her, like, first of all, like the armored habit, I got it. Like, do you have any art of that? Because that just sounds really cool. And then like her cloak is like out behind her, like billowing in a room with no wind or something like that. It just sounds super cool.
I do not have art of that. I have some like old Dark Legacies art that could potentially work. But yeah, I worked with, do you guys know Andrew Molesky? He's an artist who's done some work for some people. He did some like character art for me. So he did Sophus, he did Julia, he did Baptiste, he did another 2 characters you haven't seen yet. But it's funny, I actually asked him to do Esther for me, and when he did it, I was like, this it's just not right. And he's a great artist, but it's just like, because like you say, like, what you see in your mind's eye, like, if you're gonna go to the extent of actually making art for that, it's gotta represent, right? And yeah, one day I'll have some money to spend, and maybe I can try again.
You just do like a GoFundMe for character art.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, yeah.
You just like a little
Kickstarter.
J.K. Rowling does that all the time, dude. She has all these little books of like here's monster art, and here's food art, and, you know, all these random books that are just random art.
I know. Somebody was bugging me about doing a Kickstarter for the audiobooks, and you know, I really would one day like to do like an omnibus special edition Kickstarter, you know, with some different kind of stuff. It's time and it's money, right? So
yeah,
I got books to write.
Yeah. I think like one more comment I had about the like all your characters and how they all like we're kind of rooting for all of them, and it's just like a hard world. Like it's very like I like the tone you have where it's a very horrible place to live no matter where you're at, and there's some places that are worse than others. But like there's like kind of like this feeling of like desperate hope, like there's stuff that people are striving for in this really terrible environment, and there's awful, terrifying obstacles in their way. But I just I like it. I like the vibe. I like the struggle the characters go through so far.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm digging it, man.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, dude. So Esther, so she at the end of her first chapter, she, you know, she's kind of upset about the kind of the indignity of having to be cared for by her underlings because like her body is kind of it's aging. She's like 400 years old, right? So like she's needing to get more accelerant infusions. Like the gaps are shortening, so she's getting like more and more dependent on the accelerant. So it's like there's a lot going inside. She's worrying about like the burden of like responsibility of making sure that the sisterhood stays up. She is thinking about like the indignity of like, you know, being stuck in being reliant on this chair, being worried that she might be stuck in it forever, and just like the indignity of it all. And then like it ends, which I feel like your book really lends itself well to rereads because like I tend to like read my sections twice, and like so I read that it ends where she's like standing on the edge and she's like hearing whispers, and then I forgot about that then the first read by the time I got to Sophus's section and the Sea of Screams, and then when I reread it I was like, oh, that's like very reminiscent of like the Sea of Screams and people going up to the edge, hearing the, you know, the pleas. And it's not just like begging it. Like when they hear the whispers, it's like anger, lust, love, like all these different emotions come out of the damned souls. And then, yeah, most of the time, I think we've seen two people so far that have gone to the edge and just walked off into this sea of this black sea of faces and arms. It's just like a writhing mass of damn souls that when the sun goes down starts to glow red. It's just horrifying, man. And yeah, I like it. But yeah, so it's interesting. Like
I should get some Dark Legacies t-shirts made that say it's horrifying, and I like it.
You should. I'd wear one. I got my Doom shirt on. My wife made this for me.
Nice.
That's kind of relevant for this book, I guess. It's close. Yeah, dude, I don't know. It makes me wonder, like, is Esther's power, or like, I guess any of the sisters, like, are they kind of so in tuned to like the demons because they have the accelerant that they can hear the effects of the Sea of Screams or whatever it is way further away? I don't know, but I'm interested.
Good.
What do you think, Jesse?
I think there's a cool level of it can be a struggle, not to bore everybody with like writing advice or talking about the art of writing or whatever. It can be a struggle for a lot of people to work the world building in with a good balance. And I think a cool thing about this book is the mysteries are slowly revealed.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a really great way to work the world building in a way that doesn't have, I haven't noticed any like heavy exposition dumps more than like a paragraph. And it's a great way to work in this constant, to do an old throwback. Would you like to know more? Like, yes, I would in fact like to know more, even though that was really fucking gross. That's, or, you know, like, man, this place sucks. Like, you know, but tell me more about this Sea of Screams thing. Like, so it's, I've enjoyed that aspect of it. I've enjoyed the creative aspects of something that everybody knows about. Everybody knows, I say everybody, the vast majority of the population of the Western Hemisphere understands the theology behind heaven and hell. And so it's hard to take a concept because, I feel like incense punk is reviving a genre that was really popular with like Paradise Lost. It's like, hey, we're kind of taking we're taking like biblical themes or theological themes, we're working them back in again. We're doing theological fan fiction in a way, but we're making it our own. And that's what's so cool about this book is how hard and how good it goes into making those themes their own.
No, I appreciate it. That's awesome. I mean, and the important thing for me as well is like some things I'm just not going to explain because like, I don't know if we've talked about this before, if I talked to other people, it's like when you like how often have you watched something or read something and it's like, man, this is so crazy. This is so scary. Like what's going on? And then there's the reveal and you're like, well, that was dumb. Right.
Yeah.
And it's completely gutted. It's completely ruined. Right. And so that's a thing. It's like I don't explain. There are some things I won't ever fully explain because why would you? I mean, you got to have myth. You got to have. I mean, humans will never know everything, right? So why would the humans in this book know everything? Just because the world's a little different, right? So.
Yeah, and then like to go along with like that world building, I feel like these couple of chapters with these characters have gotten a lot of really cool lore. So when we go into Rebecca, we learn about the numbered, which is just bonkers. So basically, the accelerant sterilizes the sisters, or at least that's what it seemed like, because it goes in and it seems to fry your organs, but it transforms you into this other being. And they're supposed to be, chaste. But people will do what people do, and if you think that you're sterile, then you don't have to worry about wearing protection, and your secret will be safe, with the sheets. But I think it's a sister named Sarah was doing a little hanky panky with, I don't know what the guy's position was, a gentleman, and she got preggers and gave birth to Sarah too, and that was the first numbered. And then the lore, like then mother or Esther, they call her the Great Mother, or the
Great Mother.
Yeah, Great Mother. She found out about it before Sarah even knew she was pregnant, because she's Esther and she's just crazy cool, and
super sense of smell, right?
Yeah, right.
Hey,
smell pregnant. But yeah, so, and Rebecca kind of describes, I don't know if it's just because every sister knows this, or because she has cool psychic powers, and this weird kind of connection with her sisters, like memories, at least of the other Rebeccas. But anyway, she, like, Esther was kind of like motherly towards Sarah, it sounded like, and found out that like when Sarah came, the number when they're born, the accelerant, like they're already accelerized, right? They're accelerated, but they come out like physically kind of deformed. The accelerant doesn't give them the physical powers, but their brains are super powered, so they have like these cool, psychic powers, I guess. You have a better way to explain exactly?
Yeah, it's like a tactile telekinesis. So they can almost like communicate / travel / control things through touch. And then so Esther sees this. She's like, oh, hold on a second. Like we could use this. And P.S. we have all these like sweet mechs from 500 years ago. And that kind of puts together the plan, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, it's cool because that was Esther's like, dream, hallucination, whatever we want to call it, was being able to like go into the machine, like mentally.
Yeah.
And then the prologue, and you'd already said this like on one of the other episodes, but like now we understand what was happening with the prologue. It's like there's the accelerated embryonic process.
Yeah.
I don't know the best way to say it.
And yeah, so that's actually Rebecca 6 in the prologue, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's cool when everything ties back in too, even if it's like I think the numbered, I mean, even more, the Sea of Screams is one of those things that, like, on a demonic world makes sense. It's probably like the nastiest thing that like we've encountered, but it makes sense. The numbered are the hardest. Like that's the heaviest thing that I feel like we've dealt with in the novel, at least to this point.
Yeah.
There's actually like, like again, like I think I talked last episode or the one before about like, Esther and Miriam and how hard that was, like for my wife to read and stuff. But yeah, like man, this is gonna be a super heavy tangent. But like my wife and I, like we had like a miscarriage in between kids, right? And it's a pretty common thing. People don't really talk about it, but that really like impacted me, like, and impacted her. And it was also like a very serious medical event. Yeah, so when you talk about the heaviness, like I feel it, right? Like, because that's because the reason there's a Rebecca 6 is because Rebecca 2, 3, 4, and 5 didn't make it, right? It's not a pleasant thing. And that the whole thing with like motherhood and like loss, and like loss before birth, and then loss of relationships after, like that's a huge theme for me in this whole trilogy, right? Yeah, like life, like conception, and also like parenthood, both motherhood and fatherhood. So yeah, like Jesse, I'm totally with you. Like it sounds like, oh yeah, there's these like cyborgs and they have numbers and they're badasses and they pilot mechs, and yeah, that is cool. But when you think about like the fact that they are like the survivors, and even then like barely so, right? They basically have to give up their bodies to continue. Like, yeah, it's yeah.
Well, and feeling feeling some piece of all the ones that came before.
Yeah.
Was, and the fact that, and this is honestly like, this is the one thing that holds me back from liking Esther more, is Esther's orchestrating all of these things, and I know that she's like the chosen one to save humanity, but we are now seeing, like with her sister in the beginning, she was a kid, and you're like, look, like she was a kid, survival choices as a kid. That's a situation a kid should never be in. But with 450 years of experience, Esther is now perfectly happy to throw people into the meat grinder on a like, and this isn't like a general like commanding grown ass troops to go die in battle. This is like, oh yeah, sure, go have 6 kids or 7 kids or 12 kids with people, with a partner you're not going to pick, that I'm going to personally oversee until you pop out the super soldier that we need.
Yeah.
That's lady God.
It's bad. Like if you're watching and you're like, well, maybe this doesn't sound so bad. Like it's worse even than just that, because not only does she picks the sisters that she wants to impregnate, then she picks their mates. Very low success rate for the babies. The ones that are born still don't usually live that long. The ones that die get turned back into accelerant, right? And then so when there is a fetus that's that's latched on, that's growing, they are injected in the womb through the amniotic sac with more accelerant, which not only is that, like they remember it, like she has memories of like being stabbed with this needle. The accelerant that goes into them is filled with the memories of their dead sisters, which like is super mentally mind effing.
Yes, you're making me feel guilty now. Why did I do this? But like, let me, like, I don't want anybody to think I'm doing this. Like I do not write mean-spirited fiction, right? Like I never do this because I'm like, oh, how can I like pull out the next horrific thing, right? So all I'll say is, I didn't write the first word of this book until I knew exactly how the series was going to end. Like I had the full series like mapped out, the whole story arcs, like why things happen. So I guess it's a way to reassure that I'm not just picking up random horrific shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's even this. You guys have been like super astute with your reading. I think when you get to the end, you're like, oh, I get it now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my flimsy excuse.
I don't think it's just like for like shock value, like in the world, like through the character's perspective, it feels like it's horrific and brutal, but it's like necessary,
Yeah,
right? So it's not just like I don't know, not
necessary
at George R.R. Martin, but like I feel like he maybe likes to throw some shock value out there just for the sake of shock value.
Yeah, I love Rebecca Six. She's that's Rebecca Six on the cover of the book, by the way. You were asking who was on the cover.
Oh, yeah, it was A11, Rebecca Six. Nice, dude. Yeah. What else about Rebecca? She's her. So all the numbered. Not to keep hammering on you about this horrible existence these kids go through. They are named after their mother. So yeah, Rebecca is like the number 2. She's the most powerful besides Esther, right? So she's like a badass. So Rebecca 6 is kind of like a prodigy. Like there's a lot of hope and expectations that kind of go along with being R6. And we find out that her mom's got black hair, but she has blonde hair that's never been cut. And like the sisters that are like her caretakers in the very beginning, there's 2 of them, Abigail. I don't know. There's 2 of them, and they're like one of them.
And something started with an N. Yeah, it was Abigail and Naomi. Yeah.
She's like brushing her hair, and like the brush is like getting bent because her hair is so strong. Kind of give me like Rapunzel vibes. Like she's bound. She's got long blonde hair that doesn't get cut. But yeah, she's got really knobby legs that she's like very self-conscious of. Like she looks like a regular sister from the waist up, or from the waist down. Her legs are shriveled and deformed, and she can't walk. She's in a wheelchair. And we learn that also there's like creches where the other numbered are kept. So it sounds like Rebecca is kind of in a separate spot because she's special.
Yeah, they're all isolated.
Yeah,
they're all isolated from each other. And I talk about that a bit more later if I hadn't already. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so. Because like she gets back to her room after the test, and she's thinking about the other numbered, and like, you know, what games would we have played if we ever got to see each other? What would we have talked about? Yeah. Like very sad stuff. But you know.
Man, I can't wait until you get a little further.
I did notice that the 2 sisters that were her caretakers or whatever, they seemed like they were scared of her or nervous, like they were uncomfortable in the room. And I don't know if it was just because they were around her, and she seems so
like she's very powerful.
Yeah.
I also feel like part of that was her mom too.
Yeah. I mean, like Rebecca's the second. This is Rebecca's daughter, so you don't want to mess that up.
Yeah. So that lore, just the numbered lore is great. I mean, yeah, it's brutal, but it's so cool just from a lore angle. Let's see, what else did we learn? Then we went to Baptiste. I'm just gonna stick with some lore for a little bit here because you kind of gave us some real sweet nuggets. And so Baptiste, we kind of get a little bit more into his like insomnia. Like he's just like he's having a real hard time in the transport vehicle on their way back to Bastion. He's like hearing like a humming sound that no one else hears, and it's like driving him nuts. And he's kind of out of it, like to the point where Andrew is talking to him, and he's like, huh? Like he hears his last name, doesn't really acknowledge it. Then it's like here's his first name, and that kind of snaps him out of it. But he's just out of it. He's kind of like talking before he really thinks, like saying the first thing that comes to his mind, even though it might be a little bit, heretical or whatnot.
And that's what it's like, man. I told you about the insomnia last episode, right? Like when you're like that, when you're so strung out, it's all nerves and reptile brain, right?
Yeah. And it makes it hard, like from his perspective, like, is he being like paranoid, or is he right, or is he just like super exhausted? And yeah, he doesn't really have a firm grasp on the situation. But I don't know, I feel like Andrew kind of balances that out. Like this whole, we get, I don't know, this part kind of gives us a little bit more of a look into Bastion, I guess, because the Parliament, we can't go a little bit more into how the Parliament's excluded. The sacramental priest isn't like communicating with Andreet, who is a somatic priest. So there's like all this, I don't know, can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but yeah, this political intrigue or whatever. There's a lot of things moving around, and yeah, as the Lord Commander, just kind of doing a one-man show, making executive decisions without following the guidelines that you're supposed to do for Bastion. Is that going to blow up down the road into like some kind of a conflict because they're operating outside normal operating procedures? I don't know, but we'll see how it goes.
Man, I still want you to. I just want you guys to power through the rest of the series. You're getting me excited for it because I'm excited for you guys to experience it for the first time.
Nice.
Well, and I'm getting subtle vibes that something, I don't know 100% what it is yet, but like something is going on with his uncle. Like
what's going on
with Baptiste uncle, but like Lord Commander or whatever it is. I don't remember what his position is. But like between the it was like Baptiste said something along like he was like speaking with a voice that wasn't his own. And now we figure out that he's like violating protocol. And so I don't know. I haven't put my finger on what it is yet, if it's corruption or if it's there's something that he knows that the rest of us haven't figured out yet. It hasn't been revealed, but there's definitely like something's wrong in Bastion Land. Like it's so
maybe the church and the military are going to try and wipe out the Parliament, become a two branch system.
Yeah. And I really like the relationship between Baptiste and Andreet. Like that's kind of my like brothers in arms relationship.
Mm-hmm.
In the book is they're divided by their allegiances a little bit, right? Like they're never going to be able to be like complete brothers because there is a that distance between the Legion and the Church, but their relationship as friends and the camaraderie they have throughout the books was a really important one for me too. I really enjoyed writing them.
And I think he kind of did touch on that a little bit because Andreet didn't like call him out for the for misspeaking. Basically, the couple times he did, he kind of just let it go, like whatever. Which I feel like kind of showed like the relationship that they had going.
Getting that united in their hatred of the commissar.
Yeah, right. What's this guy even doing here?
Because the sacramental that's right, the sacramental priest that somehow knows how to command a gun team. Like it's like, oh, okay. I know what kind of guy this is. A little
bit of resentment from Baptiste because he's like, they never like the order of the Sacramental never found his brother's murderer. So he's like, what are these guys even doing? They can't find my brother's murderers, but they can be out here on an armored truck mission that they have no business being on.
Yeah.
Bastion needs Doge to get in there and figure out where the waste is at.
I get it. I'd hate that kind of guy too.
Yeah. We also see that his insomnia is like tied to his demon attack that he suffered at the factory. So yeah, I see. I don't know, man. Your demons are just cool. Really cool. But yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes and how his, I don't know if it's his trauma, how he's going to overcome that if he overcomes it. Yeah, I'm dialed into Baptiste. I like him. Plus, I just like the paladin kind of feel that Bastion has, like the Legion. I just like that. Yeah, the paladin, like the holy warrior vibe. So cool. What a lore! Oh yeah, and then Sophis. We already talked about the Sea of Screams. So cool. But the what I liked about it is he kind of showed us a little bit more about like the hub and the different clans and like some of their traditions. So like his daughter got married and it was like tradition for like the new son-in-law to go as a second with the dad. And he's a senior mechanist, yeah. But he's not a chief. He has there's like a right, a privilege. or something like that. That like the senior
the Finder's Right.
Yeah, Finder's Right, where they get
it's like, you know, like when you get good enough, you can try to find something really good, and then maybe you'll have a chance to be chief. But yeah, the whole thing with the clans is they're all different, right? I mean, they're all you'll get a lot of hub in book 2, and you'll see a lot of them, and how, you know, some of them are all about I'll just say that they're all very different.
Yeah, it seems like a very cool faction.
Like their relationship with Cathedral is different by the clan. Their relationship with the past and with history is different. Like some, like you said, some want like USA back, some want Central States of America back, some just want to move on.
Yeah.
You know, it's they were really fun, because it's like factions within a faction.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of, you know, and you know, like you see like the growing pains of any kind of, you know, new nation, right? Composed of different kinds of people that have, you know, different values and different priorities. So yeah, anytime you get to this kind of like threshold of size in the apocalypse, things start to fall apart. Also not in the apocalypse, so
yeah. I liked his chapter. We get see a little bit more about like why his daughter's so pissed at him, because I think we did learn that like he was responsible for something bad that happened to her husband, and then the thing that happened to her husband is like the worst thing you could do to somebody.
That could happen.
There's I don't see her forgiving him. She's still clearly not over it because she's pissed at him, and then we see Char kind of break down a little bit about her brother being lost, and then we see Julia kind of try and comfort her, and like she still is holding on to that pain from losing her husband. So yeah, that chapter is just like a really good insight into his character and his relationship, into why he's in the Deadlands, into why he wanted to go to the Peninsula City, because he hadn't really had his one moment of finding a sweet stash, and he like came across the notes about another clan having found Peninsula City, and they're like, yeah, don't go there. Not a good spot to be. So yeah, I like Sophus. He's growing on me.
He's fun. He's he's a lot of fun. Pretty.
I don't dislike any characters. I'll say that.
Yeah.
What's we got here? Yeah, your
and then so you've seen some A11. So you saw basically the beginning of. Did you see the beginning of World War III?
So this one ended. So the first time we saw A11, it was just A11, and then the other mechs were like piloted remotely by humans. And then this one that we read for this section, it was piloted by other AIs that were from his programming, basically, but they like diverged at birth. It was kind of the thing. And even then, like they were just demolishing the humans. And so like the government was like, can you guys slow it down a little bit and just kind of make them think they have a chance? Because it's interesting, like dilemma where if you're too effective in like conventional battles, your enemy that's getting their asses kicked is going to just panic and Hail Mary some nukes out there, because what else are they going to do? They can't, they have no chance of winning against these super powerful robots, which also like there's like the communication kind of that's like between A12 and A13 and A11 trying to figure out like what are they talking about? Are they gossiping? It's like they're kind of like becoming human, kind of like, you know, they're evolving, which is it's cool to see like happen in real time as they're in the middle of a war zone.
Mm-hmm.
See, I really like A11's action and that concept of if you're too good on the battlefield in a modern battlefield, people are just going to result to nukes. But yeah, that ended, and he ends with him running back to base, and the nukes are flying.
Mm-hmm.
I will say all the A11 chapters for me, I really like them because one, it's showing us like their capabilities and like kind of where the battle walkers come from, but it's making me more and more excited to finally see like Rebecca get inside one of these machines and see what it can do against some demons. I'm like chomping at the bit for that to happen.
I was told there would be demon smashing.
There is.
No, I've dug A11's parts too. I like. This is funny to say about an AI, but I enjoy the amount of personality you worked into A11. I feel like it's his little musings and like trying to figure stuff out and pondering through the shit going sideways and things like that it was fun.
Watching random videos of quadruplets.
Yeah, he's basically downloaded the internet.
Yeah, he's
just like watching like raccoons eating like pizza. Yeah.
And I like that he has like his own inner dialogue that he like keeps separate from what he like gives to the text.
Yeah.
I saw there was a line from A11 that I was obviously you probably not gonna tell us yet, but it says it's basically his enemies were human for the most part, and I was like, what does that mean for the most part? I'm logging that down for later. See if it unfolds. What else was there? Desperate. Yeah. I do so like the Hellmouth and the Sea of Screams, and just all the like the deeper underground you go, it gets hotter. It's like I don't know if it's because there's hell down there and that's why it's hotter, or if it's just like a geothermal thing, geological thing. But it feels like it's like a really cool mixture of like metaphysical and like the physical have just been like smashed together, and everything's like side by side. It's super cool. The Hellmouth, first of all, cool name for a portal to hell. And I also, like I said, you weave things that you hit us with earlier back in a lot. So like for me, I'm picturing the Sea of Screams when there was her vision of like the sea of limbs that smashes into the city. I don't know if that city was Cathedral or if it was the Peninsula City. I wonder if it's Cathedral, because when she went in there was like a spire, and that sounds like it's a spire from Cathedral. But dude, yeah, just really cool. And then like when Rebecca 6 went down, way down there where the demon pit was, there was like the eight angels ringed up with like the lanterns and stuff, and then there was the pit. Dude, like for real, guys, like the visuals this guy puts in his books are just so metal. Awesome. I love it. Like just think like 8 heavy metal sisters and like armored habits, like pulling a chain and they drag a demon out. Yeah. Oh, and not only that, dude, again, the poor numbered, and when it's like it's R6 is Rebecca 6's final test, and she's thinking she's gonna have to like touch a machine and control it, like no big deal. And then these sisters bring a demon out, and she's like,
come pet the demon.
maybe I'm having second thoughts. I'm gonna nope out of this one. And her mom like grabs her wheelchair, like, sorry, dude, and just pushes her down the ramp.
Well, when you put it that way, it does sound pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Well, but that's a big reveal. It's a big reveal that the sisters have developed some kind of way to capture a demon for a training program. Like, that's a big deal. That's because the last time we saw was Esther, like, coming up with a halfway decent plan and dying. Like, without her destiny, she would have been dead. You know, trying to take one of these things out. And now we fast forward and there's semi-regular people. Like, it's not Esther who's like, you know, chosen by the angels or God or whatever you want to call it. We haven't really I'm anxious to dive into that side of it too. Like, I would like to see more about like what these beings actually are. But anyway, all that being said, it's a big jump to realize that, like, oh no, the sisters can like go rope one up for like bring it, like, we gotta teach the kids. It's like, again, to make that Starship Troopers reference, like, if you remove an arachnid's limb, it's still 80% combat effective. Like,
it's the next step up from pushing your kids into the pool, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey kid, go pet the demon. The demon that screams with the voices of your dead sisters.
Sure. It shows
I'm
you
trying to
visions
think
of the
what you
apocalypse.
guys have got next, because duckling mode is next.
That's the next one.
And that's a big one. And then what do we got? We got more Baptistes.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through my ebook here. Yeah, Rebecca 6. Yeah, it's good. It's good. You
Probably just finish this part
juiciness.
out. Like finish part 2 out. I would say that's just a little over 50 pages. Read up to Genesis.
You guys have been doing about 50 pages at a time, hey?
I think like about pretty close. I think a little bit over, but pretty close.
With a little bit of variance to finish the chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the whole demon aspect of like, or I guess with the sisters, like their power comes from the demons. So it's like there's this like reliance on your enemy to beat your enemy kind of action going on, which is a cool trope. And I like that they're like they become like more dependent. Like their body starts to I don't know if it's rejecting it or what, but like they need more infusions and more frequent intervals as they go. It's a good I don't know, handicap, so they're not just like super powerful immortals forever. Drawback, I guess.
Well, it's almost like a drug addiction, right?
But it's also a drug addiction with like questionable spiritual side effects. Like, and I feel like Esther's feeling a little bit of that when she's like, "Am I just going to end up stuck in stuck in this chair forever? Am I going to end up like stuck in a coffin, still alive?" And I'm like, if and when something finally happens to her, I'm curious what the damage, if any, has been to her soul and how that's received from all of these horrible decisions that she has to make.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I find the combination of the physical and the metaphysical in the book really interesting. Like, I'm still wondering if there wasn't some poor bastard soul in that rabbit. Like,
yeah, right.
And that's why
can't cook my meat.
That's why it made her so sick. It's like, hon, you're eating demon. Like, stop. Like, you're eating corrupted human soul. Stop it.
Yeah, I forgot about the monsters that were also described in that first part, where like there was the rat who chased its tail, but its tail had like a mouth. And then like there's like the mongrels with like barbs on their backs, I think.
And you'll get to see a lot more of the world in book 2 and 3 as well. So, like there's a lot of different locales, right? There's not just like Cathedral and Hub and Bastion. There's like and the Deadlands. There's all the space in between, right? And so, yeah, you'll get to see a bit more of how that all pans out.
I don't know if you can say it. I'm curious. I'm wondering if the Deadlands are like the ocean. It's just been like
the Deadlands is like Illinois.
Okay. It's like the Midwest, it's just like the plains.
Plains. Deadlands is but again, it's like Jesse was saying, it's like physical and metaphysical, right? It's like, like if you were to have Hub in and around Wyoming, Montana, Bastion's kind of like southern Ontario, Quebec, maybe into the Great Lakes, and then you just have because the Earth has also changed, right? I mean, like not just from like World War III, but like the sundering that happened after. Like nothing is normal anymore, right? Like the Sea of Screams is there, but is it on Earth? Is it like adjacent to Earth? Is it like what does that mean? And so Deadlands is similar, right? So there's some parts in the book where I don't think you're there yet, but they talk about how they basically just can't map it. Like they don't know where the edge is, right? It's like you think you're not there, then you're there, or you think you're there and you're not there, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, there's a lot of this whole like there's a lot of dislocation, right? Almost like if you were to think of it from like a D&D term or something, it's kind of like planes smashing together.
Yeah.
Different dimensions.
Yeah, like,
Snowfest talked about it his first chapter, where like it was supposed to be a 2-day trip and it ended up being 3 days. Just like everything's super disorienting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can answer this. I feel like it's Peninsula LA. I don't know.
No. I'm not going to answer it yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I got, man. I'm loving it, dude. I'm loving this book. I think your writing style just vibes with me, dude.
Sweet. Awesome. I love it.
Is Sisters of Mercy, are those numbered? I don't know if you're allowed. Is that like a spoiler to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So Sisters of Mercy is a standalone, but it's also a side quill to the series. So you could actually read that you could read it without having read this trilogy at all. You could read it after. You could read it anytime during, and it won't really. I mean, there might be some little bit of spoilage that comes up, but nothing major. Because I did write it as whether you've read the trilogy or not, here's a novella you can read in 2 hours to get a flavor for what Dark Legacies is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out because yeah. Orders of Magnitude, love it. Do you have any other books besides Orders of Magnitude, these three, and Sisters of Mercy?
No, I'm working on the 6th right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dope. Well, you got anything else, Jesse, for this week?
I did want to throw out, and I know you have a gaming system that already kind of ties into this, but if you guys haven't checked it out yet, there's a setting/system that got put out called Astro Inferno, and it is literally like Armageddon happens, the Earth is abandoned by God, and Satan kind of takes over and then bails and like goes super deep into like the metaphysical planes somewhere. Like he's just like gone. Like he's almost impossible to locate, find, get to. So now everybody that's left is vying in this like fractured reality for power. So all the greater demons, the like pagan gods, the damned souls, the people that were still alive on like space stations when the Earth got cracked and sundered, like they're all struggling in this crazy wibbly wobbly timey wimey existence. And the art in the book and everything, I think I got it on the shelf.
I wish I had more time to play more tabletop because I love tabletop games.
Oh, I know. I mean, I haven't actually played tabletop in ages. I mean, not since kids, that's for sure.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's a good volume. Holy cow.
Oh, well, so I got like the special edition from the Kickstarter with like the gold rim and everything.
Wow.
But the art in this book, it has cantos, like it's clearly like heavy metal and Dante's Inferno inspired. And like but the art in this book is just absolutely sick. And there's like explanations of, like the soul and charts and anyway. The gaming system's absolutely awesome. I'm going to have to call these people and let them talk them into letting me do a novel at some point. There's legendary like weapons and stuff, and you can forge ancient artifacts of power and like all kinds of crazy stuff. It's cool.
That sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah. So I'd love to at some point like rethink like a gaming system for this, because my old stuff was like Dark Legacies Fantasy, right? It's only loosely related, and that was D&D 3.5, right? It would be interesting to, I don't know what it would be like, if it would be like an RPG or if it would be like more wargamey or even like card based, because you have like a lot of different stuff, right? I mean, number one, you have like all the narrative stuff, but then if you think about like combat, it's like you've got like Scavrats and all their vehicles, and Bastion and like a lot of like infantry and their vehicles, and you got the battle walkers, you got the god engines, you got demons, you've got various kinds of abilities. So yeah, I'd love to do a game version of Dark Legacies again at some point.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to devote my game time right now for tabletop to the new Land and Sea game that's trying to come out right now.
Were you on the beta?
I am. I haven't played it yet. I'm waiting on one of the guys in the Discord to print them for me and send them to me. But then I'm gonna try and get some people to play it. But I'm a Patreon member, so like they will let me use the STLs.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, like mechs versus like space squids. It's not too different from mechs versus demons, right?
Demons, yeah.
Yeah, have you read Land and Sea?
Yeah, I read. I can't remember what book I got up to before I started reading Galaxy's Edge, and then that. I think I got up to the third Land and Sea.
That's a good one. Book 2's got a really great scene with Kane where he fights at the Pentagon, which is awesome.
Where he's like setting up all the barricades and stuff.
Yeah,
that's good.
Like his mech's like falling apart. He's just fighting.
Yeah,
Comes the hero.
No, it's good. Blaine's a good guy. It's a good series, so it's cool to see. I mean, I love seeing anything new mech related, right? So.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm fully caught up on the series, but I've pre-ordered the graphic novel. I bought the I think it's issue 4 of Anvil because Blaine did a short story in there. There's like a heat sink issue that has a short story, which that was free. I just downloaded the PDF of that. I'm trying to like stay on top of like all the Land and Sea stuff because I don't want to get behind.
Yeah.
But dude, the for me, what I like about the Land and Sea game, it sounds really cool, is like the A system, and particularly like how the movement and the grids work. Because like I like Warhammer, but like I don't really.
Is it more like is it more like BattleTech or is it more like Freeform?
I can't say because I never played BattleTech. It's basically like your units or characters or whatever have like a certain movement, and there's like all these hexes, and they can move to this hex. It's kind of like a quadrant, I think. And so like whatever's in that quadrant, they can kind of, so say if there's like cover, if they're the first ones in that quadrant that says I'm taking cover, then it's basically first come, first serve. They get that cover. And then like their abilities are like you can either attack something in your quadrant or there's in an adjacent quadrant. So it's like you don't really have to measure. You just like you can move to this area, based on what your speed is. So it's a lot faster than like taking a tape measure out.
Full like mini sets and everything.
What's that?
Are they doing full miniatures and everything?
Yeah, full miniatures. So like I'm doing. Let me see. I can pull up a picture real quick. Someone in the Discord kind of has like a full squad printed out already.
Cool.
Let me throw the picture up. I'm a huge Land and Sea fan. And Galaxy said, by the way, I'm listening to Savage Wars right now. I won't spoil it.
Yeah, don't be a Tyler.
Dude, I was listening today and I legit got goosebumps. I was like, I'll just say the Wild Man from Savage Wars.
Oh, dude, he breaks my heart.
Yeah, I was doing dishes and I kept getting goosebumps, dude. Like not even exaggerating.
Do they go any more into the prophetesses like those?
Not in that one so far that I've seen.
No,
it's less quantum and more just Savage War, just fighting the Savage.
So it's literally just like Tyrus Rex and the Legion and everybody fighting these savages. But the one character, the Wild Man that they're talking about, without any major spoilers, basically he's got a massive vendetta against the savages, and he's the dude that, and it's kind of a trope, but at the same time, like I've seen guys that were kind of like that. They're like their post-traumatic stress almost disappears when they get back into it. Like I remember a scene in Peaky Blinders where it was like the one dude has the shakes and then they hand him a rifle and he's like clover leafing at 100 yards because it's just like automatic muscle memory takes over and his brain, like his brain shuts down when he starts shooting. And Wild Man's a version of that trope, and it's a very relatable. It's a very relatable character, in the way of like, at one point the Punisher looks at Daredevil and it's like, you're just like me. There's the only difference is one really bad day.
Yeah.
Wild Man has that feel to it.
Yeah, man.
How many
like combined with the savages too? It's like,
I want to say 4, but I'll check and tell you in a second.
This is like a full squad, I think, for Land and Sea. So you got your infantrymen. There's one of the GRDs out there in the front, the dog drones.
Doggies.
And
I always forget how small the mechs are in Land and Sea.
Yeah, there's basically just battle suits that are you think your feet go on top of their kneecaps, basically. I think they're getting bigger. So I think the Lion is just a Gen 2.
I remember that. I remember even like book to book, it's like they're getting bigger and bigger. And I know Blaine's just working his way towards an Atlas. It's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there will be. I don't think they're going to, because they specifically like the Ashers to be small to like go into buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there probably will be like a variant mech that's like huge. I mean, there's already, I don't think this isn't really a spoiler, but like in the newer books, they send up a space station that's basically just a giant railgun.
Oh, nice.
Which I won't say anything else about that, but yeah, it's called the station's called Thor, and the railgun is called Mjolnir.
Yeah,
and that's all I'll say.
3 books for Savage Horse series.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll finish reading book 5 I'm on, and then I'll move on to that.
Are you on Imperator?
No, I'm on the one after Imperator.
I think that's book 6, the Sword of Legion.
Oh yeah, it is book 6. I'm old. I can't count.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sword of the Legion. I'm on book 6. Yeah.
I mean, since you're a mech guy, I don't know if you've read it, but the Order of the Centurion, the Lost Legion, that's one that Blaine helped.
Yeah, I've got it. I've literally got it on my phone.
Fantastic.
And I started reading it, and then I got diverted, probably by having to read like 10 stupid books. So I'll get back to it.
Yeah, I have to say, like from a business standpoint, Savage Wars makes me want to go so badly and read the Tyrus Rex books. So it's a good. I don't know.
Working Galaxy's Edge, they're great companies. They're doing a lot of good stuff. So. Sweet.
Yeah, well, that's all I got, guys. Thanks for coming on. What do we say for next week? We're gonna go to just read the rest of part 2. Yeah, just finish part 2 out.
Yeah, if you guys can get to the end of part 2, that'll be super fun to talk about. Some crazy shit happens.
I'm sure it does. I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm loving these books, man. Yeah, well, thanks for coming on, guys, and I'll see you next week.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.